Did you know that an average of 90% of businesses actually fail? Now, this number varies depending on where you are in the world. So there are several reasons why a business might fail. It could be strategic thinking, a lack of marketing skills, a lack of management, a lack of leadership, and also stress management. Believe it or not, stress management is also very, very important in setting up a business, because if you go in emotionally, you may leave the business too early, or you can make some decisions which are not very good because you are really, really emotional. Okay, so let's take a look at my journey in deciding what to follow and what not to follow in my journey to become an entrepreneur. So when I started off, I wanted to set up a design agency. So most of the tutorials and videos and stories I used to watch online were all about success stories. So this is something that I really keep an eye on, because if you focus on listening to success stories all the time, you can be delusional, because you'd end up thinking that everything is all easy and there's no pitfalls and there's nothing really to look out for when you go into the business. Secondly, the second type of people that I really don't listen to are non-entrepreneurs. So sometimes this can also be people that have studied business. Maybe they have a business degree or a master's in business or a master's in marketing. Now, these people, if they haven't started a business, basically I stay away from them, because the question now becomes, okay, with all that knowledge, why haven't you started a business? So when it comes to entrepreneurship, it is not easy. It is very, very difficult. And not only that, it's highly emotional. So when I was listening to all these success stories, you can imagine you're broke and you're trying to make a business work, and everyone is telling you, hey, I made 5,000 in less than 3 weeks. You then try it, and you know what? You don't make that 5,000. So you start looking at yourself thinking, well, is there something wrong with me? Why am I not making this money? I'm actually following all these steps. So sometimes what happens is, if you're not told the pitfalls, you are going to start going through the pitfalls before you actually get to that success. So this is why it's important that when you listen to people who are in business, listen to the whole story if you can. Listen to the challenges, listen to how they've lost money, how they've made money, because in business, a lot of companies fail, as I mentioned. Even companies with high budgets, companies as big as Nokia, Nikon, Amazon, and so on. In fact, Amazon lost money in the first 5 years. It was not profitable at all. So don't feel that if you've failed in business, then that's the end of the world and you shouldn't go on and continue. Pretty much, I would say, just keep on moving and stay strong. Now, I want to give you an example here, which is very practical. A lot of people online and a lot of farmers talk about chicken farming, or in fact broiler farming, as a business that is very, very easy to go into. Now, I can tell you as a matter of fact that me being on the ground, starting this business, I realized a lot of things that were not spoken about before. For example, if you're going to go into this business and you're serious about it, you're definitely going to need refrigeration. You are definitely going to need a very strong, solid solar system. You're also going to need a market. You need to know who you're going to sell to. Okay? You're also going to need a way to lower your costs and produce your own feed. In most cases, people just say, well, if you go into farming, it's very, very easy. The profit per chicken is $3. And if you produce 1,000 chickens per week, then in a month you have 12,000. This is something that majority of people would like to hear. But this is where the problem starts. A lot of these successful stories are fantastic to hear, but if you don't hear the pitfalls, the background story to get to this 12,000 per month, then pretty much you're going to be in trouble. And I've seen many people saying, I've tried broiler farming, it doesn't work. I've tried broiler farming, it's not profitable, because they've missed a lot of these stages, which are very, very important. Now, I'm pretty sure, and please, can you leave a comment in the comments box below for all you farmers that have done chicken farming, how difficult it is, or your experiences. Please leave that in the comments box below. And if what I'm saying is not correct, please correct me as well in the comments box below. So, where am I getting with this? When I started my business, I used to hear a lot of people say, well, you can make X amount of money in 1 month and so on. Currently, I could simply say to you, my marketing business has made up to $500,000. And you'd be like, wow, this guy is amazing, and so on and so forth. But do you know what? I've actually lost a lot of money through Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and so on. I've lost a lot of money. But of course, I know if I come to you and say to you, hey, I've made $500,000, you're going to be like, wow, this guy's amazing. But you should also listen to the stories of the pitfalls and failures if you really want to be a true entrepreneur. There are a lot of videos out there on YouTube that talk about all these quick money schemes, and a lot of people fail. And this is one of the reasons why also they fail. So let's move on and let's talk about the UK and Zimbabwe itself. You want to come here to Zimbabwe and start a business. Now, whatever you've learned in university, whatever degree you have, PhD in business, the reality is countries differ and environments differ. In the UK, there's a lot of disposable income. Someone can just buy your product with a credit card just like that and worry about paying it, at the end of the month, and maybe over X amount of months. In Zimbabwe, we don't have that. Secondly, loans and credit cards. In the UK, there's a lot of loans and credit cards. But in Zimbabwe, we hardly have that. We also have strong regulations in the UK. In Zimbabwe, not so much. We also have the number of employed people is also different in these countries. In the UK, a lot of people are employed, whereas in the Zimbabwe, there's less people employed. But when you are now looking at a business strategy, you need to bear this in mind. And sometimes you have someone who has been working in the UK for 30 years, 20 years, and so on. Do you think after spending so much time working in whatever field you are working in, you're just going to come here, or even in the UK, set up a business? No, it's not going to work. And this is the problem. You've left a 9 to 5 and you just think you're going to come into a business and pretty much make it work. It doesn't work like that in most cases. Yes, there are a lot of successful business in Zimbabwe. I've seen them, but I know there was a lot of struggle behind it too. So what I'm trying to say here is, this is not for me to discourage you, but this is for you to really think about the strategy that you have to look at when you look at Zimbabwe and when you look at the UK in terms of setting up your business. This is why when I talk about setting up a business and starting slow and small, this is what I'm talking about. Because if you come in here and pump in 40,000, 50,000 into a business and not really look at the situation on the ground and how money is on the ground and so on and so forth, that money is going to go to waste. Because there's also a problem with growing your business too fast. It is an actual problem. There's also a problem with cash flow. So sometimes you may think, in fact, this is what I thought. When I started my Roadrunner business, I wanted to go into big numbers. The incubator that I have has a capacity of 500 chicks per week. I really wanted to have thousands of Roadrunner chickens. But when I grow too big, it was very difficult to manage. Absolutely too difficult to manage. So me losing my money in this business, approximately 40,000, for me, it was a positive thing in a way, because it's better to lose 40,000 than to lose 400,000 later. So the lessons that I've learned now, I've carried them over now into the next phase. And I know now how to do things because of all those little things that I failed in. So if you're someone who wants to go into business, whether it's in the UK, whether it's in Zimbabwe, it's okay to fail. Do not listen to people that I call them intelligent fools, because they pretend to know things, but they haven't actually done it. I'm pretty sure, and please leave your comments in the comments box below, if there's any entrepreneur watching this video who has just gone into business and it just worked from day one, no problems, no challenges whatsoever. I'd like to know that. I'm pretty sure there are, but majority, we do have a lot of stories. Bad employees, you lose money, people steal, the business closes down. It's normal. All you have to do as an entrepreneur is just start slow, listen to all the negative things, listen to all the bad stories, listen to all of that so that you can make an informed decision. That way you will go into this business thinking, okay, I need to do this. And by doing that, you've saved yourself a lot of money. Can you imagine putting in, let's say, 40,000 into a business and no one even tells you, or maybe I don't even tell you what I went through? You are going to do the exact same mistake and lose that money and then learn later on. But if I tell you my challenges that I've encountered, well, I'm pretty sure you are going to say, you know what? Before I even start this business, I want to make sure that I invest in a very good refrigerator because I want to store my chickens there. I also want to start working on my market. I also want to start working on my feed, how I'm going to produce it, mix it, and so on. So these are the sort of things that I encourage you to listen. And I'll also say, when it comes to entrepreneurs, listen to their journeys. It's very, very important. Don't get hyped by these clickbaity titles where you just go in and see people say, hey, you know what? I've made X amount. I've built this house. I've done this. I've done that. So if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, then you want to make sure that you get a mentor or you hang around with the right people, successful people who are honest and will tell you the reality of business. Like I said, it's very, very easy for someone to say, yeah, you know, you lost money or you're not good at this or you're not good at that because they haven't actually done it. Majority of entrepreneurs that I've seen, they are very humble and they share all their information. And this is what you need to do. Zimbabwe is a very, very tough place. You do need people who have worked the path for you to also be successful. If you come here with money, cash, as I always say in my videos, chances are you're not going to make it. You really need to know exactly what you're going into. So even if you do your research, do you think that I came here and just blew all that money without actually thinking about anything? I've done my research. I can even show you some documents of everything well worked out down to every single cent. But it still didn't work out because the environment, nothing prepares you for that. You have to actually go into it, experience it, and that's how you learn. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments box below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell notification. By doing so, you'll be notified when I release new tutorials. My upcoming videos are going to be about money-making opportunities here in Zimbabwe. I'm also going to talk about other topics of, specifically farming, because Ruwa Organic is about farming. But I can see that a lot of you were requesting that I do a lot of these videos where I talk about my experiences. Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe. See you soon.